Our fear of death is actually the source of all of our other fears and anxieties in life. And one thing you need to understand about our relationship to death is the actual physical component of that. In the past, people who lived in cities or villages, and I'm talking about hundreds of years ago, were constantly seeing death in front of them. They were seeing their parents or their relatives die in their house. They were seeing animals being killed for their food. Death had a physical, visceral presence in their life. And what happens in the modern world is that death has become something so distant and abstract from us. We don't see people in hospitals die. We never see the animals that we're eating being killed. And so death becomes something very distant from ourselves. But the irony of the situation now is that death is actually becoming something much more physical. We feel it all around us, as people did in the past during moments of a plague. And so this is the time for actually not repressing this fear of death, this thought of it, which is what we normally do, but actually turning it around and confronting it in this moment when its presence is so much more real. And you might think, that's kind of gloomy and morbid, Robert. Why do I want to give into that? But it's actually quite the opposite. By thinking about your mortality and about your inevitable death, you're actually able to increase your appreciation of life itself. You're actually able to deepen that connection that you feel to life, whereas that fear that you're constantly going through is actually hindering your ability to enjoy the life that you're leading. It's making you fearful in so many other ways. So if you think about your mortality in physical terms, you think, well, maybe tomorrow I might contract this illness and I only have 2 weeks to live, or maybe I only have a year to live, or I only have 10 years to live. It'll give you a sense of urgency. You have to take advantage of these moments. You have to realize those projects that you wanted to realize. You don't want to waste time. You want to make the most of each moment. Confronting your mortality will also make you deeply, deeply appreciative of what you have right now, of the life that you live, that you're actually alive, that you're actually able to see the world around you, hear the birds chirping. But being aware of how things are ephemeral and how nothing really lasts actually will deepen and appreciate your connection to life itself. And this is precisely the moment to overcome this greatest fear that we all have.